They are not like us. 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 They are not like us.
Federal authorities announced today that they have arrested two alleged gang members who are both wanted in El Salvador for their alleged involvement in a series of crimes there. The two men were arrested here in Omaha, Nebraska, and according to authorities, the arrests were made possible by a lot of good old-fashioned police work, but also assistance from another country's government, which obviously is not being fully disclosed here out of concern for ongoing investigations. One of the men who was arrested, 24-year-old Gerson Joel Escobar, is wanted in El Salvador for 5 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, 1 count of aggravated lesi, which is intentional infliction of serious physical injury, unlawful possession of a firearm and belonging to a transnational criminal organization, which in this case is MS. We've got some more information here about these arrests that happened here in Omaha, Nebraska, and again, they're both facing federal charges here for illegal re-entry after deportation. Hernandez had been deported once before in 2017. Escobar has been deported 4 times since 2017. In addition to those murder charges, attempted murder charges, the other charges that they are facing in El Salvador, they are both facing 5 years in prison here in the US for the illegal re-entry charge. The FBI says that Escobar was taken into custody without incident around 8:30 Tuesday morning at a residence near North 30th and J Streets. That's in the North Omaha area. Extradition is always a possibility for these types of charges, even if someone is facing charges in their home country. We don't know if they're going to try to fight Typically, the way this works is that the US State Department, because these men were arrested on federal charges, all we really know are the basic details surrounding these arrests. But I will be following this story closely. If I get any more information, I will bring it to you. The State Department will weigh in and decide whether they think these charges are of an extra-devil nature, whether the charges that are being levied against these men are serious enough that it would warrant extradition. So the State Department will make that decision. It doesn't mean that they are automatically going to be but in this case, there are 2 men that are wanted for multiple murders in El Salvador, and typically, those are the kinds of cases where extradition is more likely. And if you'd like to support the work that I do here, please consider becoming a patron. There is a link down in the description below. They also say that Hernandez was arrested at around the same time, also without incident, near North 72nd and Grant Street. That's on the northeast side of Omaha. The last step is actually getting them from the United States to El Salvador. That is handled by the U.S. Marshals Service. 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder, 1 count of aggravated lesiones, and 1 count of unlawful possession of a firearm. Both men are facing federal charges here in the United States for illegal re-entry after having been deported from the US, and of course, they are innocent until proven guilty. We should all keep in mind due process here, so there isn't much more information at this point. But again, the Omaha FBI office says that these arrests are the result of, quote, good old-fashioned police work. They say that their investigation began in December of 2022, and that both of these men have ties to the Omaha area. So that's all that they're saying at this point. Again, these are just the basic details surrounding these arrests. They will make initial court appearances today before a U.S. magistrate judge, but it does kind of go along with what we saw last year in January, when a large group of federal agents descended on the small town of Carter Lake, Iowa. That's a small town right across the river from Council Bluffs, Nebraska, basically at the Missouri River, and they arrested a number of people there. It was a big operation. It disrupted an MS-13 clique that was operating there, and at some point, likely sometime next week, they will have a hearing to determine whether they will be extradited to El Salvador to face those charges. Hernandez, like Escobar, is also accused of being a member of MS. According to an affidavit filed in his case, he is believed to have ordered the killings of 2 rival gang members in 2020. He is also accused of participating in a home invasion, where a man and woman were killed in front of their young child, and then their house was set on fire. According to an affidavit filed in the case, Escobar was identified as the shooter in a drive-by shooting in El Salvador in 2021 that left 5 people dead and several others injured. In that incident, he allegedly used an AR-15 type rifle. The second man arrested, 30-year-old Juan Carlos Hernandez, aka Smiley Face, is wanted in El Salvador for 3 counts of murder. Now, these arrests were made on Tuesday morning in separate incidents. Now let's take a quick break to hear from today's sponsor. Alright, welcome back. Both men are in their early 20s, so I guess relatively young men. At this point, we don't know if either of these men has retained an attorney here in the United States who can speak on their behalf. I did want to mention real quick that these arrests are not necessarily indicative of any larger crackdown on MS-13 here in the United States, so not exactly sure if this is part of something larger. As I mentioned earlier, these men are expected to fight Again, at this point, we don't know if these men have attorneys. If they do decide to go ahead and move forward with extradition, then these men will likely appeal that decision. So again, this is all very preliminary. Also, if you liked this video, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, thanks for watching. Until next time, thanks for watching.
They are not like us. 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 They are not like